If you're someone who keeps struggling to make decisions, taking too long on the ball, losing possession under pressure, this video might finally explain why, and more importantly, how to flip that switch in your mind. Because these techniques aren't physical. They don't require drills. They don't require equipment. These are mental upgrades that instantly make you more dangerous the moment you step on the pitch. If you start doing this, you won't ever be able to go back to playing normally. Your entire game will feel different. The first thing you need to understand is simple. You don't make slow decisions because you're bad. You make slow decisions because your brain is reacting instead of predicting. And the harsh truth, most players scan, but they scan late, or they scan randomly, or they scan without knowing what to look for. This is why your mind freezes when the ball reaches your feet, because the information is reaching you too late. So here's the real secret. It's not about scanning more. It's about seeing the picture first, before the ball is even played to you. Don't think of it as turning your head. Think of it as taking a mental screenshot of the entire scene around you. You don't look at specific players. You absorb the whole situation like a wide camera. This is the difference between an average midfielder and someone who controls the tempo of the game. Before you receive the ball, ask yourself one question. If I was the player with the ball right now, where would I pass? That simple question forces your brain to predict the next frames of the match like a movie. When the ball finally comes to you, you already know your next two options. That's why pros look like they're playing at walking speed. The game is slower for them because their brain is ahead of the moment. Now, once you start seeing the picture early, the second technique is where things get scary, because it takes your decision-making to a level where defenders literally can't read you. This technique is called switching POV. In other words, you stop thinking like yourself and start thinking like the defender marking you. Most players only see the game from their own eyes. That's why they become predictable. That's why defenders always seem to know what they're about to do. But imagine this. Before you receive the ball, you ask, if I was my defender, what would I expect me to do? If the defender thinks you're going right, go left. If they expect you to dribble, pass first time. If they expect you to shield, turn. You start playing in reverse. You're not deciding your next move. You're deciding what will make the defender wrong. This is exactly why players like Bernardo Silva or Modric look impossible to defend. They don't just see the game, they see your brain. They play the moment through your perspective. And the craziest part? Once you start doing this, defending against you becomes mentally exhausting, because every decision you make feels unpredictable. The defender loses confidence, they hesitate. And when a defender hesitates, even for half a second, you win. Now, the final technique is the one that separates calm players from panicked players. It's not about slowing down your body. It's about slowing down the moment. This is the micropause. Here's the problem. When pressure comes, most players panic because everything feels too fast. They rush passes. They lose the ball. They force decisions. But pros? They create an illusion. They freeze the defender for a split second. When the ball arrives, instead of instantly acting, they take a tiny micropause. Not even a full second, just a tiny delay where they breathe, observe, and then act. That micropause makes the defender commit. They jump, they dive in, they lock their hips. And that tiny mistake opens the passing lane, the shooting lane, or the space to turn. You don't slow down your movement, you slow down the moment inside your head. You take control of the tempo. Suddenly, the game doesn't feel chaotic. It feels like it's moving according to your rhythm. And here's what's crazy. This micropause only works when combined with the first two techniques. You see the picture early. You think like the defender. Then, when the ball arrives, you create a tiny pause that forces the defender to reveal their intention. And that's when you choose the perfect decision. Do you understand how powerful this is? You're not reacting anymore. You're manipulating, you're dictating, you're controlling. And once you start playing like this, you'll never go back. You'll feel like the game is finally giving you time. You'll feel calmer. You'll feel smarter. You'll feel like you're always one step ahead. Because you are. This is why pros make football look simple. It's not talent. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's mental processing done at the right time. And now you know exactly how to do it too. If you actually use these 3 techniques, even for a single match, I promise you'll feel the difference instantly.